to the extent that firms are now beginning to compete, not just on the basis of cost or innovative features or delighting the customers, but also on the basis of how well they work in conjunction with the environment and the environmental impact of their activities, then we have triggered an evolution that will take us in directions that today we cannot predict. Right? But a future that would be much more constructive. So I see the issue of it pays to be green in the context of industrial evolution. And if you're taking part in this revolution, then you're part of a trajectory that promises to improve and possibly revolutionize over the next few years the way that business carries out. In almost every business, there are typically individuals who on their own, in their own career development, have gotten to the point where they think that it might be possible that their own activities could be amended or changed or pushed in directions that could help their business's objectives be more in harmony or at least be mindful of the environment and environmental implications. That's leadership. I don't care how low you are in your organization or how high you are in your organization, that's where leadership comes from. That's where forward-looking change comes from. It reminds me a little bit of what we read from the labor historians about the labor movement in Europe in the late 19th century, in the United States in the early 20th century, and in different parts of the world right now, where initiatives for fair treatment of labor, for ending child labor and other such practice, where those initiatives were once seen as revolutionary and cutting edge, now we take them for granted. I mean, you go work with Walmart, they are going to be concerned about the strategy of Walmart. And by the time you get to Bentonville, it is going to be very clear that you're worried about the bottom line, the financial bottom line of Walmart. That said, in the process of being concerned about the financial bottom line, individual leaders on both sides of that interaction come to see possibilities for improvement that can transform upstream industries entirely. And that kind of iterative process where you find out what it is that Walmart's doing, say, for example, in their supply chain, where they're clearly a world leader. And then you see an area in that supply chain where, for example, energy consumption is particularly high. Well, that's an area where an entire industry could be born if you could solve that particular problem.